Good evening, everybody. How are you today? I'm fine this day. Today, I made this video to share with you some useful information on teaching methodology, especially with the student at School of Foreign Languages Tangwin University. Okay, and I want to share with you about my experience when I have the chance to teach this grade English 10 new English 10 new English 10 and new English 12 I'm sorry 11 okay. The method for teaching English is familiar with you, but today I want to share with you how to teach a lesson or how to make a lesson plan, an interesting lesson plan. I've studied two courses in teaching. The first course is the teaching methodology 1 for secondary student. The second course is teaching methodology 2 for high school student. So, and I had the chance to take courses teaching English methodology for young learners. That means for primary schools. Okay, so I had three courses. I'm so nervous because this is the first time I share with you about my experience in English, and especially for teaching new English in grade 10 and grade 11. I have also some useful information on teaching English for secondary school, new English grade 6, 7, 8 and 9. If you want to know more information about them, you can contact to me through my via my phone number or via my email nguyễn.việt@tnu95a.com. Okay, thank you. So the first, Unit 1 Family Life. Like other lessons or like the lesson on our English program, we teach about the vocabulary, pretty vocabulary, warm up pretty vocabulary, before, while, after, or pre, while, and post, with the skill reading, speaking, listening, and writing. But in the first lesson, we learn about the getting started with the new English 10. That means how social. The teacher have to explain the title of each lesson for students to get the understanding. Unit 1 has household chores. Okay, the first I asked my student. Okay, vì cái sách thí điểm nó rất là giống, đối với bài nọ giống bài kia nên mình chỉ dẫn một bài, đó là 8 tiết. Các bạn sẽ dạy những cái gì trong 45 phút đấy. Thứ nhất, cho đạt hiệu quả. Thứ hai, và làm cho giáo án của các bạn thêm sinh động. Đặc biệt là khi các bạn thi môn phương pháp giải tiếng 1, phương pháp giải tiếng 2 thì các bạn sẽ có cái điểm creative, đó là sự sáng tạo của các bạn sẽ được điểm ở trong phần giáo án. Phần objective thì trong sách giáo viên của chương trình mới ghi rất rõ ràng rồi, nên là mình sẽ không dạy phần objective. Phần objective các bạn phải dựa vào bài là chính, nhưng phần sách giáo viên người ta ghi rất là rõ ràng. Chủ yếu các bạn hãy xác định cái objective của cái phần lesson outcome. Sau khi chúng ta dạy xong bài thì học sinh sẽ có một số những cái hoạt động đó gọi là extra activities. Thì cái extra activities đó sẽ giúp cho các bạn get được cái objective của cái phần lesson outcome. Okay, now I will talk in English. I'm sorry, I am talking in English and speaking English. The first lesson I asked student to describe the picture. Describe the picture. You can see the picture. Yes. Students have to describe the picture based on some clues that teacher gave them. Okay, you can show the picture. Yeah, you can show the picture. Ask student to describe the picture by answering some question from the teacher, like what can you see from the picture, how many people in the picture, what are they doing, where are they. So some question are the clues for the student to get understanding how to identify and how to describe, make a short description about the picture. Yeah, this is the first thing you have to teach them. Through the picture, you can teach them about the vocabulary, new vocabulary. Through the task of vocabulary. Task of vocabulary is after is followed by the with the dialogue. Here, new phrases. Task 4. You have a tool. You can look at top 4. You have a table and some phrases. You have to ask students to find out the full sentences or the full phrases of the noun or verb by finding the information in the dialogue. In the dialogue here. Yes. You can give a student the new language, the new vocabulary. By giving them the Vietnamese equivalent by using the flashcard, like household chore, take out the rubbish, do the laundry, shop for grocery, do the washing up, and to be responsible for household finances. So like this, you can use the flashcard, a small flashcard with a word and a small flashcard with a picture. You can ask students to match them. This is the second steps for you. The second step for you to teach about the vocabulary. After describing the picture, student can understand. The topic today is household chores. After teaching about the vocabulary, you can ask students to listen to the dialogue. You play the recording twice, 3 times. It's up to you, and it depends on the student's level or student's ability on learning English. The third step for you is you ask students to listen to the dialogue and ask students to repeat after expose of the dialogue. You can press the button pause after a sentence to ask students to repeat. Why? Because student can get the familiar. Student can practice the dialogue with the right intonation, right pronunciation, and they can get the situation. They can understand about the situation. They can think about the situation of the dialogue. So like this. You can. Hello. The second. Hello, Lam. This is Uncle. Is the dad dead? I like to ask him for the tennis game. Okay, that's the intonation. You can ask students to repeat with the right intonation. And sometimes it takes 5 or 7 minutes. This is the third step. The first step, you can ask students to read the dialogue again and do the task. In this lesson, you have a task 2 or 4 or not given. So, what about the step to teach them? Okay, to get the motivation from the student, you can make a small game. So, what game? Which game? I guess I give you the suggestion that's playing lucky number. You have a lucky number. You have a number. 4 of them are the lucky number. So you can give the student about the rules to play the game. The rules is on the first time, but on the second time, the third time, the fourth time, blah 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 blah. Student can, you have no chance to give them the rules because they learned by heart the rule. Learn by heart the rule after playing on the first time. With each of the tasks in in the book, you ask student to do the task, but with your suggestion, with your instruction. Why? Because student can learn about the skill and strategy to do the task, like the true or false or not given task. Teacher gave student about the skill strategy. Okay, first underline the keyword and you can give a student the example. Nan's father is going out to play tennis with Meta now. So the keywords are Nan's father, go out, tennis, and Mr. Long. So they are the keyword. You give a student the answer and ask student to underline the keyword individually in the next sentence. You can explain about the differences between among true, false, and not given. Student can have the difficulties on distinguish the difference between false and not given. Okay, that's the third and the fourth step. The fifth step is you cover to check students' answers. Check student answers. What about lesson outcome? Lesson outcome, you can ask students some question. Ask students to talk about their household duties or sharing household chore in their family. So that makes your lesson more interesting. What about the game? The game in the last lesson, you can divide the class into two big groups. Ask big group, ask each group to do the task. You make the task like me. Make a short presentation about sharing household duties. Okay, each of you to talk about your family members' duty on sharing household chores. So that makes students more motivated. Okay, what about the motivation of the student? The teacher have to think, have to create a lot of game in the lesson to get the motivation of student on learning the lesson, right? What about the language? Lesson 2, we learn about the vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. The first, I teach students about pronunciation, not about vocabulary. Student can learn about the pronunciation at first. Like the unit 1, we learn about the tur, per, cur. Tur, cur, ber, ber. Okay. 3 sounds are quite difficult, but the teacher teach student about the sound, ask student to listen to the sound and circle the correct answer, or you can make a words in a small flash, in a more small card. You stick them on the board. And ask student to listen carefully about the sound and select the correct word on the board. So that's the name of the game is select the board. So student can remember the sound and can recognize the sound rapidly or dramatically, and they can learn the sound through the game. Okay, that's the good idea for you. The second thing, I teach students about the vocabulary. The vocabulary, I ask them to do the task in group or in pairs. In group or in pair. Remember, in group or in pairs. The third step, I teach about the grammar. I ask students to work in group of 4 or 5 people, and I ask them to think about the point of grammar and and think about the use, the form, the adverb or something, some information related to this point of grammar. Like the present simple, present continuous, I asked the group 1, group 2 to find out the information about the present simple. Ask group 3, group 4 to find out the information about the present continuous. And I asked them to make a short presentation in class about the two tenses. Yeah. And I give them a poster, a big poster, A0 poster, and they have to write down the example on poster. Why? Because they write down the example on the poster and they analyze this example, each of the example, to identify the use of each tense. Like there's the current habits, the general truth. Okay, that's the use of present simple tense. Yes, so they write down the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So that's the use for present simple tense. General truth. Okay, like this. Yeah, it's so easy to get the motivation from the student. And after their presentations, I teach again. I make a short presentation about the difference between present simple tense and present continuous, but it takes 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. Yeah, so after students presentation, you can use their example to analyze again. Okay, and maybe teacher's role in this lesson is not important than students' role. After making a short presentation, I asked them to do an exercise. Only an exercise. Correct the verb into the correct form of the verb. Correct the form of the verb into the blanks. And I give them a game, lucky number, or not and cross game. A lesson reading skill. Reading, we have a 3 step: pre-reading, while reading, and post-reading. Pre-reading, I ask students to look at the picture and describe the picture by using the question, answering the question. What are the people in the picture doing, and do you think they are very happy or unhappy? Why? The second, I ask them to do task number 3, task about the vocabulary. Task about vocabulary. They can get the meanings of the words basing on the content of the of the text of the passage. After doing this task, I ask them to read the text and do some reading comprehension question, answering the question, or doing the multiple choice questions. Yes, but after they do these tasks, after doing tasks about the vocabulary, because vocabulary in reading is very important, very crucial. Teacher doesn't teach the isolated vocabulary, but teacher teach them through the task. They can guess the meaning of the words by checking their Vietnamese equivalent from the passage. And after doing the reading comprehension question, Teacher give the answer keys. Reading comprehension questions, students should do this task individually. The lesson outcome is make a discussion. Teacher asks student to work in group to answer teacher's question, maybe through the text. What can you learn from the text? The reading text. Or you can use some information in the text to ask students to make a short summary. A short summary using the clue you give them. What about the speaking lesson? Speaking lesson. Pre-speaking. I ask students to learn about the vocabulary, not to learn vocabulary. That means to revise vocabulary. I give them some picture about the household chore. I ask students to choose the household they like, and they have to talk or to present its name. Example, I choose picture 1 because picture 1 is about doing washing up. So I asked them, why do you like to sing doing washing up? Why don't you like something? So they give me the reason for choosing or not choosing the picture, right? The the next step, I ask students to look at the sample dialogue between Anne and Mike. They have to look at the dialogue and do the task number 2, matching. And they have to repeat the dialogue in several times. The teacher can correct students' mistake on pronunciation, intonation, rhythm. After repeating the dialogue, teacher asks students to make a similar dialogue with the dialogue in task 2 or in the sample dialogue by using the picture that student chose before. So, and at the end of the lesson, teacher asks student to make a short presentation or make a dialogue in class on stage with the real situation that teacher gave to the student. What about the listening skill or listening skill? Firstly, teach a student to describe something. Describe something, and something that means something includes some information on the listening recording. And the listening recording. In this lesson, student will listen to a family expert talking about how the roles of men and women in families can be trained and decide whether the following statements are true or false. So I ask students to identify or to give me the reason why the roles in the family has changed. So students give me their comments, their idea about my question. The second thing I teach students is teaching vocabulary, new language. I ask students to work in pairs to do a small task, matching task. Their first column is about the words in English. The second is about their definitions, but in English. They have to method. So that's the good way to teach vocabulary. I ask student after teaching vocabulary, ask student to listen to the dialogue twice to do task true or false statement. Before doing task true or false statement, ask student to underline the keyword. But I didn't remind student to underline the keyword. I asked them now with the true or false statement, what can you have to do now? Yeah. So student can think, can recall the strategy, the skill that teacher gave them. Okay, underline the keyword and think about the situation, think about the synonym and antonym of this word, and then student listen to the dialogue, listen to the recording twice to do the task. Yeah, and it's easier than the first time, than they don't underline the keyword. And after listening, maybe teacher can give a student a transcription of the recording. Why? Because I ask student to listen to the recording again and repeat each sentence of the recording after each pause. Yeah, to identify the intonation, the pronunciation, and especially about the information, because the information in the listening recording is a very essential in the writing lesson. Student can learn some phrases, some phrase verb, idioms, or the word formation or new language from the recording. And after listening, I ask student to write or to make a summary of the recording, of the content of the recording, or I ask them to reorder. I give them the recording, but the recording in jumbled up. So I ask student to reorder the sentences, give the sentences into the correct order of the recording to make a full recording. That's the end of listening. What about the writing? Oh, writing is really easy to teach. But what about the difficulty? The difficulty is the sample answer. The sample answer. Teacher has to give student the sample answer of the writing. So that's called writing suggestion or answer suggestions. Teacher asks student to look at the sample as the sample writing. The sample writing you can see. So look at the sample writing and do the task followed. Okay, with this task, teacher can make a mini game like ball game. The task asks student to answer the question. I ask student to answer the question. I have a ball and I give you the ball. If you receive the ball, you have to answer my question. And then after answering my question, you have to give the ball to another student. And she or he has to answer the second question. And then he or she has to give to another student. So that means giving ball like a gift for a student to get the motivation of the student. And identify the structure. After doing task number 3, answering the question, I ask student to identify the structure to write an essay. And the topic of the essay today is the many hands make light work. So I give student about the structure on writing an essay, and student number 2 learn, yeah, and write a draft in class. And after the lesson, I ask student to write for a full writing, maybe writing 1, writing 2 at home, yeah. And teacher asks student to make a peer correction, after, before handing their writing to the teacher. What about the communication and culture lesson? Communication and culture lesson. Oh, the lesson is really interesting. I asked students to work in group to read about the text. Yeah, communication and culture. Students have to read about the text. So work in group, read about the text, and make a short summary, make a short presentation in class to introduce about the content of the text by using the image, by using the useful information from the text. You have to write down on the poster, drawing the picture to taking photo in drawing the picture to demonstrate about the content of the text, yeah. And the result is quite good. Students like it. Then it is better than ask students to do all the tasks in the book. Yeah, it's really boring. Student don't like it. Student hate it. Yeah. I ask students to work in group and make a poster about the content of the text and identify the main content using the image or the pictures, or they can draw on the poster to make the poster more and more interesting. Students like it. What about looking back? Looking back, I give students 3 games. Game about the pronunciation, game about vocabulary, and game about grammar. Yeah. Looking back. That lesson, looking back lesson, has the main content is to revise all the thing in this unit. What about pronunciation? I ask students to play the game. They have to listen to me and I give them a lot of cards. They have to listen carefully, only a sentence. But about the card with a lot of words, they have to choose the correct card with the word have the same syllable with the word I used to speak in the sentence. Example: after having the ice cream, she brushes her teeth. So they have to find out the words brushed in all the cards I gave them. What about the vocabulary? Okay, the vocabulary I stick the picture on the board. Stick the picture about the household chore on the board. I ask students to go to the board and write down the name of this picture on the board. Yeah. And I ask them to work in two groups, Group A and Group B. Which group is more quickly? Which group has more correct answer and quickly is correct is the winner. And I give them a small gift. What about this gift? The gift say clap their hand, or I ask the loser to sing a song or dance a folk dance. What about the grammar? The game with grammar is I ask students to make a long line, and I give each of them a sentence, and they have to give me the answer in 1 minute or 30 seconds. Like the first sentence, blah 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 blah. Yeah, often. So she goes to the true. The second. So next student like the first student. Yeah, so they can learn about they can revise about the use of the present simple or present continuous. Okay, and project. The lesson with the project. Okay, I usually ask students to make a short presentation using the poster by drawing, sticking the picture, writing the slogan, or writing some notes on their poster, decorating their poster, and posting their poster on the board, and make a short presentation about their topic I gave them. The topic I gave a student in Unit 1 is the family life, and I asked them to find out the information from the internet about the information of extended family, intermediate family, and nuclear family. They have to find out the information from the internet and bring all the information in class and make a poster in 15 minutes, and then after that I asked them to make a short presentation, and the result is, oh, I am so surprised at presenting their presentation, really good, and their pronunciation, the intonation, and they are more confident after each their presentation, and I like it. I like the way to teaching them, and I like the lesson. I like to work it. I like working with them because New English is a new program, and teacher likes New English, and student also likes New English. Okay, that's all, because that's my experience on teaching New English, especially New English 10, 11, yeah, for high school student. I hope you like this video, and I hope you have more and more useful information after watching this video, and you can make your lesson plan more and more interesting. Yeah, don't use the teacher's book a lot. Just use your brain to creative the language, creative the task, creative the game. You can contact me to get more information about the New English, about the way to do the task, about the way to making the lesson plan, or the way to making or to creating the game. Thanks for watching. See you later in the next video. The topic of the next video is about how to get the motivation for teaching young children. That means teaching methodology to young children or primary schools. Thanks for watching. Good night.